Yeah, g'day and welcome back to another episode of converting this 1977 Ford Escort van into a fully electric vehicle. In this episode, we are going to fit all the components into the engine bay. Just need to make all those mounts up because after that, we're pretty much ready to take it all apart again and get it ready for paint, which is exciting. So let's get into it, let's crack on. First one is the DCDC converter, which will go on the left-hand side of the engine bay. Let's get into it. Right, fingers crossed, it'll work. The way I put that plate on is so that I can mount it here, because the back bolts were sticking out on this bit of panel here. So I made these two wings further back where I can get a fixing happening. That's pretty good there. Pretty good. Let's mark the first hole. And I think we'll just go hole at a time. Okay, that's the DC-DC converter installed, mounted. Now down here, which is between the radiator and the electric motor, we're going to put the Wabasto diesel heater. So going to mount that down here, which uses this mounting bracket, which I am going to, I think that's got to kind of go there, and I think I'll make a bracket up that goes and uses the radiator mounts. This here is ideal, so I need to make something up that mounts off of this mount. This plate needs to mount onto this radiator thing here. I think it's too difficult to go onto the side of the car. You got the mount, this bracket that holds the 12-volt battery up here. Anyway, it'll be better to go onto these things here. And then further up, going to have the charger here and the vacuum pump going here. So there's another two things on top of those. So I'll probably do the same, make a bracket that goes onto the radiator mount here and just keep them all off this, because this is quite strong. That'll hold those components. So just going to go ahead and make that bracket up for the Wabasto diesel heater. You've got to have a bit of diesel in your electric car. Okay, that's the Webasto diesel heater in here, and then this is the hot air pipe. It's going to go around and into the firewall, into the cabin. So next, going to make a bracket in here to hold the vacuum pump. Vacuum pump on this side, about there. And the charger alongside it there. So much same thing, going to make a mount off the same arrangement at the front. Yeah, choppy weldy weldy. It's going to go there with a support down. Sorry, with a support down to the other one. This is all bolted in, so I've got a little couple of tabs here with some bolts, so this whole assembly can bolt over the top of the other one, you know, to build it up when you're putting it in there. But I just had a thought, the coolant pump's over here on the wall, and that pipe's got to come over into the underside of the controller there. So I might just put a bit of 6mm round bar over here just to tie on tubes and wires maybe going across there. I've got some holes along here so I can tie the wires from the coolant pump over to this side. Yeah, wicked. Okay, now I can take it all out and finish welding it up and making that support bracket, which will be at a bit of an angle. I think that'll be good. I'll make it as light as I can. That's all the bits put together, or welded up, whatever. So now I'm just going to assemble it all into the car. Okay, that's all fit in there. It's pretty good. So the frame, it's solid, but I just want to give it a bit more support. You can see it's getting busy. The heater's under there, but this is it moves a little. It's pretty good, but I think I'll put another support. So down in here, down on the chassis rail, there's a couple of holes which I've tapped out to 8mm. They're not very thick, but I could make a little bit of steel bolt on there and then come up with an arm that comes over and bolts onto this part here, and that'll stop it from wibbling a bit. Okay, with the marvels of video editing, there it is. So yeah, bolted on here and then down to the chassis rail there, which is good. And it's kind of right over here because the heater hose is going to come out here, and then the coolant line, which will come off the pump, go along there and then into the cooling plate for the controller. Okay, next thing is the next level in here, which is basically going to be the main contactor box, which is going to be over the top of the controller, and then and then over in this corner there's going to be the fuel tank for the heater, because that needs to be back behind the steering, rack, and the main axle has to be behind that. So that's there. It's diesel fuel in there, and then master control box, contactor box for the drive system, and then I'm going to probably make another box in here for all the fuses and relays and stuff, mainly the 24-volt stuff, because this is the old fuse box here, which I could still use, but I'm virtually going to rewire a lot of it, so I'm thinking a nice box there. Yep, so this is the next mounting rack for those 3 items through here. Righto, so that's pretty much as far as I'm going to go, I think, in here. So just to recap, obviously the motor way down in there, and the main controller up on top of it. Right at the bottom down there, there is the diesel heater, and the air duct for the diesel heater is going to come out and go into the firewall there past this thing here. The main high voltage wires are going to come up here. Haven't done those tubes yet. They're going to come up, one go in this side, out the other side into the controller, and the other one coming up from the other side here, likewise going in like positive, negative sort of thing, through and out. And then all the other sort of high voltage contactors are in this box here, contactor box. You've got the charger here, the vacuum pump, the coolant pump down in there. This is the diesel tank for the heater. And on this side, the 12 volt system. So the main 12 volt battery will be here where it normally is. And then this thing here is got all the fuses and the relays in there. These are the two main breakers for the supply voltage, for the supplies. And then this thing, the way I've mounted it, just on these two bolts here, so you can bolt it off. And I've got it so you can pivot it over, because, you know, to get underneath and make terminals, and the wires all got to come out, you know, so I'll make the wires so then that can flop over, just to make it a bit easier. I don't know if that's going to work or not, I don't know, but just thinking ahead for wiring, making it a bit easy. The only thing I haven't done yet is the MCU little board, which I'm probably going to mount here, because a lot of wires are coming and going. This is kind of where the main loom goes through the firewall here, and this is where the old fuses were, the old loom underneath there, which I can use as another way to get wires through, because most of the loom's going to come either through that hole or the MCU up here and then through, and I can go back down into there. I think that'll work really good. Lots of access, you know, it's kind of thinking forward really. But anyway, I'm going to leave that video there. That's fantastic. It's another step forward. So thanks for watching. Please do all the things. Leave me a comment, would be great. I'd really like to hear if anybody's watching these things. Apart from that, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.